Are you looking to become more productive and successful? Well, look no further than your morning habits or routines. As the saying goes, the early bird catches the worm, and successful, high-performing leaders know that the morning is a crucial time that sets the tone for the rest of the day. By adopting positive habits and rituals, high-performing leaders set themselves up for success. In this episode today, we'll explore the top 5 morning habits of high-performing leaders that anyone can adopt to enhance their productivity and success. Let's discuss.
Welcome to Leadership is Changing. Each week, we and our guests provide information and insights through exploring leading change. This is taking your leadership to another level by finding the balance between executive excellence and personal well-being through stories that inspire real change. It's time to adapt in our fast-moving world when leadership is changing with your host, Denis Giannoutsas.
Welcome to the Ask Denis episode. This is a freestyle episode where I'm asked a question by our listeners or share my thoughts, experiences, and insights from working with many leaders around the globe. Hey listeners, what an interesting terminology. The early bird catches the worm. And for high-performing leaders, this couldn't be more true. I'm regularly asked, what time should leaders wake up and start their day? What should they do first in the morning? Now, successful leaders understand that in the morning, it's a crucial time that sets the tone for the rest of the day. They recognize the importance of starting their day with positive habits and rituals that prepare them for success. So in this episode, we'll explore those top 5 morning habits of performing leaders that anyone can adopt to become more productive and successful. All right, let's get into them. So number 1. Wake up early. Well, surprise, surprise. Because you see, that's one of the most common habits of high-performing leaders is waking up early. By waking up before sunrise, leaders have ample time for them to focus on themselves and their goals without distractions. Sometimes people say to me, well, how early? Well, really, that's up to you. Personally, I wake up at 5 a.m. And what I do here is I have a morning, and I also have an evening routine that I follow. I think that each of us need to do what's right for you, right? Do what's right for yourself. High-performing leaders do wake up early, though. Tend to be 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and some at 6 a.m. I would suggest that you also need to think about the time that you might need to go to bed in the evening. So what you need to do is work out, okay, if I need to have 7 to 8 hours quality sleep, then if I work back from there, what time do I actually need to go to bed? See, there's a little bit of a problem here that you could actually end up burning the candle at both ends. So the important thing is, if you want to get up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., then work backwards to work out 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. So does that mean you need to be in bed by 10, 9 p.m.? I don't know. You work it out. It's whatever's right for you. But I do know that by getting up early, the high-performing leaders can take the time to do these following things: exercise, meditate, or plan their day. But once again, it sets a positive tone for the day. There's nothing more satisfying in the sense of getting up early before everybody else does and getting things underway, because it actually feels really great. Now, waking up early is an essential habit that can actually help you as a leader maximize your productivity and focus throughout the day. All right, number 2 is exercise. For some of you right now are probably dry reaching. You think, exercise, I don't want to do exercise. Well, it's another critical morning habit for high-performing leaders. And regular exercise not only helps the leaders maintain their physical health, but it also helps their mental clarity and focus. So successful leaders do understand that taking care of their bodies is crucial for their overall success. It's a package deal. Whether it's a quick run or a full-blown gym session, exercise is a vital component of a leader's morning routine. Now, for some people, they ask me, do I have to go to the gym? Well, I think that any type of activity to get the heart rate up is good. Just start by doing something, and then you'll find your way and you'll find your feet. For me, that is the gym 3 times a week. And on the other days, going out for walks up in the hills and the steps and so forth like that to help me. And if I'm not able to make the gym, then I want to make sure that I do go out and do a walk at least 45 minutes to an hour. At the beginning, just do 30 minutes. You don't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be right or correct for you. Just do what's right in the sense that at least you're getting out there and doing something. Okay, number 3 is plan the day. Planning the day ahead is an essential habit for high-performing leaders to succeed. And those successful leaders do take time out to review their goals and their priorities. They identify the most important tasks and they plan out how to tackle them. You see, by having a clear plan, leaders can focus on their energy on the most critical tasks and avoid distractions. In other words, they're taking control. And we all have to-do lists. And the problem is, it's in the title, to do. That means you probably won't get to most of it. I always focus on the top 3 things that I need to get done today. So I call it the must get done today list. And that's probably a little bit of a different focus. If you can plan your day in an effective way to stay organized, productive, and focused throughout the day, you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. Number 4 is practice mindfulness. Now, it's a buzzword out there around mindfulness and so forth, but really, it's things like meditation or journaling. It's also common morning habits of high-performing leaders. Now, for some people, that could be praying, it could be looking at their Bible as part of that, their meditation, and then journaling and so forth. But everyone, once again, has different habits and routines that they may follow. Now, if you can do this and actually do the mindfulness, it's going to help you clear your mind and reduce the stress and improve your mental clarity. It's nothing like having clarity, nothing like having a clear mind and understanding where you're going. Because if you can do that in the morning, that's really going to help you start the day by being calm and also focused. Having a calm and focused mindset is key to your success as a high-performing leader. Now, these practices, as I'm talking about around mindfulness and that, are an effective way to reduce stress, improve mental clarity, and enhance the overall well-being. Now, also remember, there's other things that I talk about in my episodes, which is around breathing. And breathing is also another very important activity to do in the morning. And I'm talking about deep belly breathing. And if you can do that, hey, that's going to help towards your calmness. It's going to help towards having a clear mindset. Number 5 is nourish the body. In other words, feed the body. If a racing car and it's high performing, it needs to have the right oils. It needs to have the right fuel. It has to have the right water going through it. Whatever it needs to have, it's got to be at its top notch. Because you see, high performing leaders understand that by having a healthy breakfast will actually help nourish their bodies. And sometimes people talk about breakfast being the most important meal of the day. And high performing leaders understand the significance of actually nourishing the body. Because you see, if you can fuel your body with foods and nutrition and that are food that are going to be really good for you, then you're going to have the energy and the focus to be able to tackle the day's challenges. And you see, once again, it's an important part and component of a leader's morning routine. Now, for some of you, you might be holding off from having breakfast until after you do the exercise. Personally, I do exercise and then I have a smoothie packed with goodness and nutrition as part of my breakfast. Also remember, as part of this, around nourishing the body, is to actually drink enough water. 2 to 3 liters a day is what you should be looking at. Now, to sum this all up, the morning habits of high-performing leaders are a reflection of their commitment to success. They are really committed in being successful. And so by prioritizing self-care and intentional preparation for the day ahead, these leaders are really setting themselves up to tackle any challenge that comes their way. And the best part is that anyone, and I mean anyone, can adopt these habits and reap the benefits. Now, it may take time and effort to build these habits into your routine, but the payoff in terms of productivity, focus, and overall well-being is well worth it. In other words, don't expect it to happen in the first day or two. It's going to take time. It's going to take work, and you need to work at it. So, if you're looking to enhance your performance and achieve your goals, then take a leaf out of the book of successful leaders and start incorporating these morning habits that they talk about into your daily routine. Now, with consistency, focus, and commitment, you too can become a high-performing leader in your personal and professional life. Okay, listeners, well, I always give you a call to action. So this week's call to action is of which of the 5 habits that I talked about, the habits that the high-performing leaders do every morning, which ones do you currently do? Which ones do you need to work on? Which ones do you need to implement? Which ones do you need to strengthen? Have a think about it, look at them, and decide on what you need to work on. All right, listeners, that's it for this episode. It's always a pleasure being with you. Thanks for joining me on the Leadership is Changing podcast. Until next time, bye for now.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Leadership is Changing with your host, Denis Giannoutsas. Each week, we and our guests provide information and insights through exploring leading change, inspiring executives and leaders to adapt and lead a bigger game in a fast-moving world.